Hi guys, oh my gosh, my voice is still gone, so you guys are gonna have to bear with me. Welcome back to my channel. Forget all the videos that you've seen of me before. This is gonna be a very serious one. God forbid I don't do a next one if I'm supposed to, because I'm actually just doing as I'm led. For those of you that do not know much about me, my name's Sabrina. This is actually the, well no, not the real me because I'm wearing a wig, but I'm not made up, too tough. My nail polish is sheer. My lips are probably dry right now. I don't care because I need to say something. So today I decided to put some of my projects aside that I'm working on and just follow the leading of the Holy Spirit. And I prayed about this topic, about speaking about this topic, and I am somebody that gets, I might not seem it, but I am somebody that gets quite shy easily. This voice is terrible. I get shy quite easily. What I do to overcome that is step out of my comfort zone and counteract the shyness that I feel, so it doesn't often seem like I am shy. I'm very much outgoing, it seems. I'm very friendly, which is what I am. That's me counteracting it. So I'm saying all of this to say this is gonna be quite a hard video for me to do. I am going to have a truth and honesty moment, and first of maybe a few, I'm going to talk about anxiety and depression. I've seen a lot of other videos from my siblings in the Lord that have done talks and blogs, vlogs and blogs about this same topic, and I've left my channel very dry, just subscribing to other people's channels and watching other things, and I feel like I need to talk about it. I have a mouth, it needs to be used. My prayer has been, Lord, whatever you want to do with me, like, let's do it. I surrender. Recklessly abandon, as I keep saying to some of my friends, recklessly abandon yourself in the Lord. And so I'm doing that with hardly any voice. So tune in. One of the things I wanted to talk about today was how life is a race. Many of us, especially those of us in our 20s, we're rushing, and we feel like time is of the essence. You need to hurry this up and get this show on the road. Just, do you know what I mean? Like, just make sure everything is in place. Some of us that are even saved, we over spiritualize that and are just like, listen, Jesus is coming soon. Let me make sure I do everything, get everything ready. And in the midst of that, you'll do that and then figure out, I actually don't want to be like those virgins where some were actually just there waiting with their oil, and some were there, left their oil, burnt out, and thought, I need to be ready, so let me go and get some more oil and come back. And by the time they came back, the groom had already come, and those brides were gone because they had gone to get their groom. The groom had come for them, while the others ran off to try and stay prepared. So one of my points is stay ready so you haven't got to get ready. It also comes from the Bible where it says be ready in and out of season. One way to do that and maintaining doing that is stay in the Word. Now, I am somebody that would always hear this. It would always be something that would be a running theme in my mind and on my heart. But when I'd go home after church or when I'm doing something, I wouldn't actively discipline myself and say, all right, Lord, me and you, the Word, let's go. I used to do it when I was younger, and then as I got older, life started getting busier, concerns started becoming the forefront. Too many concerns that you end up thinking it's not even something that God is concerned about, yet it's on the forefront of your mind. This is really terrible. Maybe I should talk low. This is gonna work. Nah. Alright, I'm gonna try and keep it here. And in doing that, it just distracted me from being in the Word of God. What it means to be in the Word now is genuinely, like, you wake up in the morning, you have your daily devotional. You sing your praise and worship or you just connect with God however you feel that you need to do. If you feel like you need to worship before praying, if you feel like you need to pray before worshiping, if you feel like you need to take the Bible, find a Bible passage that you want to focus on, like, just do it. Step out and do it. Step out and do it. And in doing that, be mindful of the Lord. Acknowledge him in all of your ways, and he shall direct your path. He will direct you to the word that you need to speak, the word that you need to receive, the word that you need to go with for the day. He will direct you. He will direct your path. Another thing the Bible will tell us is, a man plans his way, but it's the Lord that ordains his path. For a while I've known that I have a voice, one that's lacking today. I have so many things I want to do. I'm such a creative. I love music. I'm a content creator. I also have managerial skills. I also do this. I can also do that. I also have interest in this. I have interest in that. But when it comes down to it, I'm very passionate about God. Very passionate about God. And I've never known, how exactly do you want to use me in the fivefold ministry, of which I've tried to study and understand. I'm very much in the teaching. I've been scared to admit it, scared to discover it. I grew up thinking that's where, excuse the noise, that's where the Lord would want me to be, with the music realm and content production and creation. So I'm thinking, as a creative, that's the field that the Lord would want me in. Bear in mind, I'm still trying to figure this out, but this is where anxiety and depression would come and have its foothold. One of the ways of identifying anxiety in your character or sufferings is one particular year that I went through where I was afraid to sleep. And it's not because I'd have nightmares, it's not because I'd be scared of death or anything like that. It would literally be, I am so scared to fall asleep because I don't want to wake up in the morning and have to face the world, because I don't know what I'm living for. I don't know, I'm not gonna get emotional, I don't know what purpose I serve. I don't know who I am. It was a tough, very tough year. That particular year, my best friend got married that year. I was supposed to serve her as chief bridesmaid. I was supposed to serve her in all of the bridal celebrations, and I couldn't admit this to my family. I couldn't speak to them about it. They would never understand. Yeah, it was really, really hard. Identifying it is knowing the feeling that you had in your chest, on your heart, in your head, in your gut, that you know something is not right. Why am I feeling so low? What is happening? Second thing to do when identifying it is calling it what it is, and knowing exactly what it is, talking to somebody that I love to deal with things myself. I can deal with it, I'm good. I don't need to talk to anybody. People come to me a lot and talk to me about stuff, but it's not about you. This is to help others and to make sure that you come up out of this. So another way of helping yourself and helping others is finding help. My way of finding help was to run to people within my church. I ran to a counsellor at the time when I was going to a particular church, and she helped me work through it. And the root of my issue was, I was looking around at everybody, and everybody was finding their purpose. People were figuring out that they wanted to be a singer. People were figuring out and catching breakthroughs and becoming music producers. Other people were catching breakthroughs and getting into the TV and film industry and getting internships. And I was like, these are the type of things that I've studied and these are the things I work on at the moment, but I'm not getting these breakthroughs. I'm going to all of these interviews and I'm getting absolutely nowhere. Why? And it was like the Lord was saying to me, come closer to me. Stop trying to find your identity in those things. As you keep finding me, you will find yourself. Bearing in mind, this was 2015. This It's now 2017 and the penny is only dropping these past few months. Sometimes the desires and things that you want is not always where the Lord will have you prosper. Because the desires and things that you want, yes, the word says that He will grant you the desires of your heart. But your heart has to be in alignment with His heart so that His desires will become your desires. And your desires being His desires, your desires will come to pass and He will grant you those desires of your heart. Another thing about life being a race, I'm going to read from some of my notes that I made. The Bible says in 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 7, where Timothy talks about having fought the good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. I went on to read Galatians 5 verse 7, where it says, you were running well. Who hindered you from obeying the truth? Every day you are in this race called life. And daily it is your responsibility to stay in the race. If you come off course, there's grace and there's mercy to come back. But if and when you come off course, please identify what has slid you off, what has made you go on a completely different path than you were supposed to have been. Philippians 3 verse 12 to 14, pressing towards the goal. Not that I have already attained or am already perfect, but still I press on, that I may lay hold of that for which Christ Jesus has also laid hold of me. Verse 13 says, brethren, I do not count myself to have apprehended, to have understood, to have attained. But one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forward to those things which are ahead. I press towards, verse 14, I press toward the goal for the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus. And my prayer for you guys is in verse 15, therefore let us, as many as are mature, have this in mind. And if in anything you think otherwise, God will reveal even this to you. My genuine prayer for you guys is that you know what you're supposed to be doing, that you know where you're supposed to be going, that you know how you're supposed to be using what you have. If there's something that you think there's a gap that needs to be filled, find that, identify that, pray about it, speak to people, speak to someone. There's always somebody that you can speak to. But when I say speak to them, I don't mean find somebody who's a counselor or a therapist that they've been educated in it and they don't know the Lord, because there needs to be a spiritual foundation and a spiritual upholding for you to be able to carry out this healing, for you to continue in this journey and knowing who you are. Because verse 15 says, therefore let us, as many as are mature. Find somebody who's mature in the faith, somebody who knows what you're going through, and somebody who is able to listen to you. Find somebody that is mature in the Lord, mature in the faith, and mature in even understanding what it is you're speaking to them about. That I pray that you are led to the right person, that they're able to guide you through this daily, weekly, hourly. That every time your hope is deferred and every time you can't pray for yourself, there's that one person that you can go to, that one person that is mature, that they are able to help you, having this in mind. And if in anything you think otherwise, when you're going through a depression or you're feeling so low, that they help you think otherwise, that they help you come out of this deferred hope, that they help you and lead you into things that are all true, that you will find peace and that joy will rest within you. Not happiness, because happiness is something that comes temporarily, but joy in your salvation, a newness, a new discovery. You know that I need a job. You know that I need to look after myself. You know that I have bills to pay. And right now, I feel idle, I feel like I don't serve a purpose. And even in that purpose that I might serve, I'm not getting the credit for it. I'm not getting the recognition. How will I eat? How do I serve you more if I'm not getting paid? If I'm not being showed value? What is happening? Where am I going wrong? Another thing anxiety likes to do, it likes to hold on to your thoughts in thinking, surely it's me, I'm doing something wrong. And if you're a Christian listening to this, more times you feel like, rah, like disobey God, that's why I'm in this position. It can also make you feel like even in this race called life, whether it be you're jogging, whether it be you're running, whether it be a marathon, which means that it's actually long distance, so you have to pace yourself, and in every step, every mile or hurdle that you take, there's something that makes you slow down, something that makes you slow down and regain pace, regain motivation, regain thoughts. It's in those moments that you have to step back and be like, all right, Lord, what do you expect me to do in this situation? I need your refill. I need your refueling. You might be watching this and watching me now and think, Sabrina might actually know her stuff, like this is really deep. Listen, we're human and we all go through something. I'm such a passionate person when it comes to knowing how people are. How are you? What are you doing? Let's meet up. Let's see how we can work on this. What is it you're working on right now? How can I help you connect the dots? That's me. That is the type of person that I am. If you're like me and you have many facets to you, pause. Refocus. Do them. Because I'm a firm believer of you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. It is possible to do them all. There will be one particular that you're supposed to reign in, and that will make room for you and bring you before great men. It will make room for you and everything will just be established through that one thing. I believe that 100%. But all these other things, a tree has many branches. One tree has many branches, and in all these different branches, it grows fruit. An orange tree will grow oranges, but one orange will be a different color to the next orange, and that next orange will be a different shape to that one, and that one will be a different taste to that one will be a different size to that one, and that one will grow later than the other. But each and every one of them will still grow and they will still bear fruit. Each branch will still bear fruit. It will be of the same thing. It will all make sense. Focus on the roots. Find your foundation first, and as you grow stronger and you bear fruit, that they all make sense and all reach out and all benefit other people with the vitamin C and the juice and the color and the smells. It will all come together and make sense. God is a God of order. He's a God of strategy. He, dare I say it, patterns things for your good and to glorify his name. If he doesn't, it's like his name is on the line. He has to bring his word to pass. But at the same time, he is so gentle and so patient that he doesn't force us. It's up to us to just be like, all right, Lord, have your way. And whatever comes to your mind, don't doubt it. Step out and be like, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And see it unfold. We're not always going to get it right. But as you step out, he honors our faith. It's impossible to please the Father without faith. James 1:6. But let him ask in faith, with no doubting. For he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. Verse 7. For let not that man suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. Verse 8. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all of his ways. Don't be unstable. There's going to be a time where you're like, oh my gosh, this is too overwhelming. Maybe I'm not supposed to do this. Maybe let me go and do that. Have focus, and pray for alignment. If you've started something, one thing that you know in the first place the Lord told you to do, follow it through. Finish that one. Trust me, when he tells you to do something and you step out and walk with one foot, he'll guide your other foot. He'll put his hand under the other foot and he'll put his hand under the next foot. When you journey, if he told you go to that shop and buy a crisp, this is an example, and you're like, which crisp? It's not your business which crisp, and it's not your business which shop. When you step out and go and find the shop, a shop, he'll guide you to the right shop. Once you get into the right shop, he'll then guide you to the right crisp. Do you know what I mean? Like, as you go, as you acknowledge him, as you keep him in your mind, wanting to know, what do you want me to do? What is on your heart today? What do you need of me? He will guide your path. He will. He holds his word higher than his name. If he says he shall and he will, it shall be and it will be. I pray that this is a timely message for you and that I'm speaking from the heart of God. It will all make sense. Everything will fall into place. Seek him first, please. Find his word. Find a Bible passage. Study that. Ask him to explain what that means. Go and talk to a friend that might know the Bible more than you. Do it. Whatever you have to do to conquer, to champion over this thing, do it.